For more on this story, we're joined by Shai Franklin. He's a senior fellow at the Dietrich Bonhoeffer Institute. Always a pleasure seeing you. Firstly, we know once final results are in, the president will ask the politician he believes can most likely form a government to begin coalition talks. But what do you think a Netanyahu return would mean for Israel?
This election, like the previous few elections that have been held over the last 4 years, was primarily about Netanyahu. In terms of how to deal with any kind of final status for Palestinians, there's not that much difference between Netanyahu and Lapid. There's the issue of annexation that Netanyahu has floated to annex the West Bank or to annex the settlements in the West Bank, at least the Jewish settlements. But it's not clear that he would actually do that, especially with a Democratic administration in the White House in the United States. And congressional control could shift in the United States this month. We'll see. Starting in January, actually, we're having elections next week for his Congress and Senate, House and Senate. But the other people, it's not just Netanyahu. He has the Otzma Yehudit, the Jewish Power Party, which is everything that sounds like, headed by Itamar Ben-Gvir, who is, even by Israeli standards, a terrorist. He was not allowed to serve in the Israel Defense Forces because of his extremism. And he would be, it's been guaranteed that if he joins the government, he will be Minister of Public Security. And tonight, his deputy has been saying that Arab citizens of Israel should be concerned. Their concerns are justified. So that's kind of a frightening prospect for 20% of Israel's population and for what Israel would look like as a democracy. It prides itself on being the only true democracy in the Middle East. We've seen democracies like Hungary and the United States and Israel teeter on the edge of not being democracies, all through democratic elections. So it's a little bit of a concern. In terms of the Palestinian issue, whether or not Netanyahu annexes the territories, there will definitely be a very difficult period for Palestinians who are Israeli citizens and for Palestinians who live in the West Bank under some kind of Israeli joint control with the Palestinian Authority, and for Palestinians in Gaza, frankly. The relationship with the Gulf will continue, whether it's Netanyahu or Lapid. There will be tension between Netanyahu and the Biden administration just because that's in the nature of Netanyahu personally and his affiliation increasingly with the Republican Party in the United States.
Just before I let you go, Shai, what do you think about foreign policy when it comes particularly to Ukraine, which has asked Israel a number of times for air defense systems assistance? Israel doesn't want to strain its ties with Russia, but is the approach to Ukraine likely to change under Netanyahu, you think?
Yes, Netanyahu has a personal and ideological affinity to the kind of nationalism that we see embodied in people like Vladimir Putin. And he has close ties to Putin and to people around Putin, to Putin's money people, some of whom go between Israel and Russia back and forth. Even today, they go back and forth. So I do not see Netanyahu standing out on behalf of Ukraine. He would not do any more than the current government in Israel has done, and he'll probably pull back a little bit, and he'll try to cut some side deals with Russia.
All right, I'll leave you there, Shai Franklin at the Dietrich Bonhoeffer Institute. Thank you once more.